Hi, hello. I'm Grisha, a book dragon with too many buttons.
What's up? My name is Styles. I like to watch movies and TV shows and all things visual media. Happy Pride Month. Today we're going to be talking about queer people, and I love it.
Yes. Yeah, we're so excited. This is going to be a super fun video. I have a lot of queer stories that I want to share with you guys because I think they're all amazing, and I'm obsessed because, I don't know, I mean, obviously, a library that's self-curated is going to have all my favorite crap in it. So, like, I love these. They're so good. And then there's a bunch of stuff that I haven't seen or even heard of that Styles is getting ready to put me up on game, and y'all as well. So this is going to be a super fun video. And just our patent disclaimer, when we do these kind of like spirit videos or whatever, like you should be reading queer stories and celebrating queer love and joy. I was going to say queer joy. And then queer love. And then it became Jove.
Hashtag queer job. I'm ready.
All day, every day of the year, because it's a blessing for others, it's a blessing for yourself, and you're missing out if you're not doing it. Like, you just are. So,
immediate judgment and shame.
Yes. Yes. So anyways, yeah, we got a bunch of fun stuff to talk about today, and we're going to jump right in. So do you want to go first, or you want me to go first?
You can go first.
Me? Okay. Okay. So I probably should have mentioned that we'll be doing our same format that we've been doing for a lot of the videos recently of 3 categories. So category 1 is queer icon. So someone that we feel like is just iconic. Not because of their queerness, they just also happen to be queer, but just like a super iconic character or person or whatever. So that's category 1. Category 2.
Queerness in the global majority?
Yes, because
we have no idea what that means.
Because we don't believe in minorities around these parts, okay? Like, black and brown people, legitimately the global majority. So we just kind of flipping that message around here. Anyways, so...
It's a reframe.
Yes.
Reframe.
And yeah, we're going to be talking about basically queerness around the world, or characters and stuff in different places. Whatever. You get it. I'm not going to like belabor this point here.
I picked one character for this category, and I'm pretty sure they live in Florida, so I didn't branch out too far.
Okay, let me clarify here. Heritages around the world, from around the world.
I guess Florida is part of the world, even though it's sinking.
Part of various diasporas, which I'm okay with, like Florida just like effing off and sinking, only because they have alligators and snakes that come up out of your toilet into your yard. They eat. Like, what is the point? Like, Florida, please get it together.
Personal version of Australia.
I mean, I just need you to get it together. But okay, so that's category 2. And then category 3, we're going to talk about animated stuff. So, slash manga, which kind of doesn't count because it's not obviously animated, but like it goes in this group.
Somebody drew something at one point in time.
That's
what we're talking about.
We're gonna be talking about queer anime, queer manga, some manhwa, and also some non-anime animated content. Well, because anime is, I think, technically specific to Japan, so that's why. So yeah, I'm super excited. I'm super geeked. So let's do this.
I've got my notes pulled up. I'm ready.
Okay, so category 1, queer icon. So I picked Gideon from Gideon the Ninth, and I'm pretty sure I probably talked about this maybe in like our fall TBR. It feels very fall forward. So I'm not going to get too much into the plot of this one because I've talked about it a lot on previous videos. In fact, this whole series.
We're just talking about the icon.
But yes, we're just talking about the character. So I'm going to try to do my best to stay on task. I will just say briefly synopsis.
You know what's crazy? I still have no idea what that book's about, and you've talked about it so many times.
That hurts my feelings so much. Well, listen up.
I just forgot.
Take the cotton out of your ears.
I keep forgetting.
I think I bought this for you. You still haven't read it.
It's on the The advent calendar, so it's on the list. It'll get read at some point.
Get going. But okay, all right. So Gideon the Ninth. This is book 1 of the Locked Tomb series, which was originally supposed to be a trilogy, but then the author basically went rogue and threw in a third one that wasn't the final one. It was really annoying. So I guess now it's going to be 4, and we're just like waiting for the 4th one, which is really annoying because honestly, the 3rd one, like, you could have kept it, but it's fine.
You know, that's how I felt. I just finished the Akatar books. There's going to be another one, but I've read 5, and they're like 600, 700 pages a piece, and for no reason. But book 4 is like 250, so I said, oh, good, it'll be a break. Turns out it was a transition arc. The entire book could have been summed up in 2 pages at the beginning of, like, the next book. So I'm like, I just spent almost 300 pages, and nothing happened! But it's fine.
What was it all for?
Everything's okay.
But yeah, so anyways, but specifically we're talking about Gideon.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, I know. We can't stay on task to save our lives. I think you just woke the baby up.
Oh. I'm so ashamed.
Okay, but anyways, again, I'm trying to stay on task here, but anyways, just, if you don't know about this, it's book 1 of a fantasy series, and it's a really unique blend of science fiction, fantasy, gothic horror, and also it's really funny, and it features lesbian necromancers in space. So, I mean, what more do you need?
I remember the necromancy part.
Yes.
And that it was lesbian.
Yeah.
That's about all I remember. I did not know they were in space.
Yes.
In my mind, this takes place in, like, post-apocalyptic world. So.
Nope, doesn't. Mm-mm. I mean, kind of, but no. Like, all the planets are kind of, like, destroyed and effed, so kind of all of it is post-apocalyptic, but that's not the point. It's would not consider this a post-apocalyptic novel, and you don't even know that. Again, I'm trying to stay on task here. Like, let's just focus, please. This story follows Gideon, the character that I'm about to talk to, who's a swordswoman, and she's forced to serve as the cavalier of her nemesis, who happens to be a powerful necromancer named Harrow, Nona Gesimus. And basically they have to compete in a deadly trial put on by the emperor as the necromancers vie for immortality. So whoever survives this competition or the trial or whatever, should hypothetically become immortal. That's what Harrow wants. And she needs a cavalier. So these are like partners who have sworn oaths to each other. And generally all the other ones, they like their cavalier and necromancy. Like, their partnership is healthy. Gideon and Harrow's is not. At least not at the beginning. It's more of a kind of like enemies to friends situation, kind of. It doesn't matter. But I specifically picked Gideon over Harrow, who the other lead, she's also a lesbian, not that it matters, but because we are doing our Pride Month video, just thought I'd mention. Basically I just like Gideon better. Arguments could be made both ways, and I'd probably fold like a wet napkin because I like both of them. But Gideon is my favorite because she kind of has this like freewheeling, like irreverent personality that's just really fun to watch or read. Like, she's just ridiculously entertaining, so it's just so much fun. And sometimes I feel like Harrow takes herself a little bit too seriously, which can just be like not as fun. And Gideon, I don't know, she just has like that main character energy. Like, she walks into a room and she's just like,
she is the titular character
of this one, but not the next one. Harrow is, believe it or not. Anyways, so she just has like that main character energy that I like, but she's also like kind of pure-hearted and guileless in a certain way that I also find really charming. And I like that. She's like basically like a female gay cursing necromantic knight that reminds me of like Naruto or Luffy. Like if Luffy became
an idiot,
a girl, and well, yes, kind of, but I mean, became a girl, and also was gay and was a knight, and also
just wasn't Luffy.
Wasn't Luffy. He would be Gideon. I know that doesn't make any sense, but in my head it makes perfect sense. Like she fits nestled into that like box of characters in my head. She just like curses a lot, so she's like extremely foul mouthed in comparison to those.
She's my kind of woman.
But and then she also just kind of has this like personal code or this like individual like sense of honor that it's like very straightforward and exactly like Luffy and Naruto and those kind of like main characters that are kind of dumb but not dumb. Like they're dumb but like extremely competent somehow. Like and yo, Gideon is just straight up iconic. I mean, she has a sword. She knows how to use her sword. She's just like a freaking baddie. And she's like just out here knocking heads and just
Taking
being
names.
extra. And I just love her.
She's
so
wearing
freaking
Ray-Bans.
much. Yes.
Or aviators. She's wearing aviators. That's pretty cool. I think the coolest part is she's ginger. We love gingers. If you're ginger, you're like 10 times cooler in my mind.
So yeah, she is by far 100%, 10% like an icon, and I love her. And romance isn't even the point of this. I don't think she gets into one relationship, but the way she's like simping after some of the other characters, and she's kind of just like a little bit Pepe Le Pewing one of the other characters. Like it's just fucking funny, and she's just so iconic, and I love her so much. So, all right, that's what I got. What you got?
So I did.
Oh my god, I don't have my emotional support. Oh yes, I do. Emotional support water.
Feel supported? Emotions in check? That makes one of us. All right, so I chose the TV show Sense8. It was a Netflix original. It had 2 great seasons and then was brutally canceled because I guess for monetary reasons, and Netflix sucks. Mm-hmm. But the fans rioted because season 2 ends on such a cliffhanger that the fans rioted, and so we got a movie to complete it. But then the movie was rushed, and so you just really didn't get to feel it. Ugh, it was bad. However, the show is great.
Feel those feelings.
I have such big feelings. The show is great. So essentially what the show is about is there are these clusters of people. So it's 8 people in a cluster around the world. They're all born on the exact same day, and they are linked. Basically, it's like telepathically, but also like empathically, like just spiritually, like they're just linked, right? But even though they're born on the same day, their cluster, like this awakening, doesn't happen until someone of another cluster psychically like gives birth to their cluster. It's very weird. It's better if you watch it because then you get this visual.
Yeah, that seems extremely confusing.
Yeah. So like these 8 people, they're all adults doing their own thing, and then all of a sudden they get like this shared vision of the woman who gives birth. And anybody can give birth to a cluster. It doesn't have to, it's not based on gender. But they get this like shared vision of her like giving birth to them, and she's like literally like in the throes of like labor. It's weird. She's also being hunted, so I think she perishes, but
I don't know. I hate this. This is like, I'm sure the show is great, but like this description is like,
that is just the very
wigging
beginning.
Me out.
And so after the birth of their cluster, these, again, 8 different people, so a handful of them are from the U.S. There's one, her name is Nomi. She's in, I think, California. She's a hacker, okay? Then you get the police dude. I don't know his name. He's just some cishet white man. But you get the police dude from Chicago. Then there's this girl. She's like of Scandinavian descent, maybe Iceland, Greenland. I don't know, man.
Okay.
She's some sort of European. She's a DJ. I don't think she's a drug addict. I think she was. She might be in recovery. But she's a DJ. And then there's Sun, who is the South Korean. She's a fighter. She kicks ass. She's awesome. And then you've got the dude from Kenya. I don't remember his name. There's 8 of them. You can't expect me to remember all their names. It's too much. But he drives a matatu, which is like their bus. He drives like the city bus. And so he's like an excellent driver. And you have to remember these roles because that's the skills that they bring to the cluster. Then you've got the actor. He's in Mexico. I think his name is Lito. I know. I looked up his name because I'm going to be talking about him. His name is Lito. And then after that, how many do we have?
I don't know. I lost count. Or rather, I wasn't counting.
Oh, and then there's 2. I think her name is Kala. She's in India. And she's, first of all, the actress, gorgeous. She's like a pharmacist. She does stuff with chemicals. And then my favorite, his name is Wolfgang. He's from Germany, and he's just like a thug. And he is like that dude. He's very cute, and he punches people. Anyways, so as they're going through their lives, whatever challenges they have, like for example, they're on the run throughout the entire show because people are trying to kill them, so they're on the run. And if one of them is like in their respective city or town and is driving, then the Kenyan dude, because he's a great driver, he will kind of like take over their body like psychically, and he will drive for them. So then they kind of exchange and share skills in that way in order to keep everyone in the cluster alive. Mm-hmm. And so it's really, really cool. And the way that they show this in the show is that like I can be sitting here in a room by myself, and then all of a sudden I see someone in my cluster sitting next to me, and then we can have like a conversation that way. And then if they need to assume my body, they can like take over. So Leto, he like gets in a fight, but he's not like an actual fighter.
Oh dear.
And, and so he's like about to get his like butt kicked. He gets punched and then like falls down. He gets up, he gets punched again, but like does it because Wolfgang, who's a street fighter, like he's a thug, he's been fighting. He then comes in and like lays waste to the enemy because he's like, dude, I'm gonna need you to be able to take a punch. And he's like talking crap about Leto, and then like handles business. So the show is really, really good. The reason that I wanted to bring this show for this video is because it's very queer friendly. So Nomi,
is this your icon?
No, Nomi is not my icon. We're leading up to it. Give me a minute. I don't have as much to talk about as you.
I know.
Do, so I'm this just is asking. My one moment.
I literally just asked a question. I just feel attacked.
So Nomi is a trans woman. Now Nomi is cool. They've got like, the hacking skills. They're constantly hacking into the mainframe, and so they use that a lot. They have Nomi is awesome. Nomi is not the icon that I want to talk about because to me she's low-key kind of boring. But she's like a really good person. The icon is her partner, Amanita, who's played by Freema Agyeman. I don't know how to say her last name, but if you've seen New Amsterdam, she's like, I think she's the cancer doctor in there, but she's also, if you watch Doctor Who.
Oh, you're right, she is. Actually, I remember her from New Amsterdam.
Yeah, but she was also in Doctor Who. That's the first place I saw her. She is an icon just in general. So gorgeous. I mean, look at her face. Good night. Anyways, but in the show, she plays Amanita. And Amanita is an icon because, one, her whole style and her whole aesthetic, like she was raised on a commune, so she's got like this kind of like hipster hippie look going on. She's got locks, and there's like, I think she's got her shaved sides or whatever, or at least her shaved head. So she's got these really long, beautiful locks, and she's just beautiful. And I love her because she's a beautiful soul inside and out because she is very accepting. She accepts the whole Sensei cluster immediately.
Right, because that would be weird for me. I'm not gonna lie. If I'm just like chilling and then like okay, so what happens to someone if they like go, like so when Wolfgang came and helped like embodied Leto or whatever during his fight, what happened to Wolfgang at that time? Like does his body just kind of like, does he go to sleep or is he just like a split personality?
So it's kind of, he doesn't go to sleep or anything. He basically just like is just there. So like if I'm in my space, like in my home and you're in your home and we then sit on the couch together, in my home it would probably look like I'm talking to nothing or whatever, whereas for you it would also look like you're talking to nothing, but it's because we're sitting next to each other having a conversation.
But the body embodiment, is he also still in his body and then also in Leto's body? So is he like fake fighting nobody while he's fighting with Leto?
Sometimes it really depends. Like sometimes if he's more so like with Leto, then he's not going to be like shadow boxing.
Okay, I'm just trying to.
But if like Leto got hit and it like really actually rocked Wolfgang, then Wolfgang might fall over or whatever. How this shows up for Nomi and Amanita, because Nomi is never fighting. That's just not her jam. It usually looks like she'll be talking to Amanita and then like one of the others in the cluster, they could be like, I think they're called sensates. So like one of the other sensates, they could be, if they're like pacing in the room back and forth because they're stressed about something, but they've connected to Nomi because whatever they're stressed about, Nomi is going to be able to help them. Usually whatever you need, even if you don't need it, the other person who can help that need you'll usually connect to them automatically. And so if like someone else is stressed and they're pacing, then like, you're Amanita, I'm Nomi, I'm having a conversation, and then all of a sudden I look over and I'm just watching this person pace, and then Amanita's like, who is it? Like, who is it this time? What's going on? And they might low-key look schizophrenic, but to like an outsider's perspective.
I'm sure they probably do.
But yeah, and so Nomi could then be having a conversation with Amanita and this person and be like, kind of like the go-between and whatnot. And so Amanita is great because she is, one, immediately accepting. Her mom is like this, you know, sweet little hippie white lady, and then she's got 3 dads because, again, her mom grew up in commune in the 70s. Okay. And so everyone was just, you know, with everybody, and so we don't biologically know which dad is her dad.
My goodness.
But they're all like, I'm your dad, so it's
Mamma
like,
Mia situation.
I was literally about to say, it's like Mamma Mia up in there. And no one is interested in finding out biologically who, like, we're all just the dad. We've all raised her.
We're all cool with this. It's fine.
Yes. And so she's got 3 dads, and they'll like all sit around the table, and it's fun. But Amanita is very strong. She has a very strong personality, and she's very loyal. She's like loyal to a grave. And so anything that Nomi like needs, then Amanita is there to support her. She's there to help her. You know, she's like, if Nomi starts running off because one of the other sensates is running for their life and Nomi just takes off, then Amanita's like, we're running, you know? And
oh my God.
And so I really love Amanita. I can't fully just explain like what a bright personality that she is, but she literally, I was like, she's one of my favorite characters, and she's not even one of the main characters. She just happens to be dating one of the sisters. And so she is my queer icon.
Well, awesome. That sounds like a really good show. I kind of want to watch it. The only reason I haven't watched it yet, because you've talked about this before, is because I am like nervous about like the whatever they did at the ending or with the movie or whatever. I mean, it's making me like not really want to watch it.
The movie ending, like it was good, and you know, it satisfied. Like it functioned. It did what it was supposed to do. It was just rushed because they were planning to have 1, if not more, seasons to get there.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. Sweet. Category 2 then. Queerness in the global majority. So. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I struggled with this category name. I feel like we could probably come up with something better, but I did my best.
My original name for it was Throwback because I picked a movie that came out, I think I was like in my first year of undergrad, so like 10 years ago is when the movie came out. So I picked Throwback, but then Krisha didn't have any that fit that, so it got changed to Global Majority. I had no idea what that meant, but I said, you know, whatever. A title's a title. As long as the content's there, as long as the meat and the juices and the yum yum yum, you know, then like, yeah.
Okay, but actually, I forgot. Before we jump over to the second category, I did have a very quick honorable mention that I wanted to run through, mostly just because I really want to talk about this book.
This is not going to be an honorable mention. This is just going to be a second choice.
No, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it. I'm like, I am staying on task today, okay?
It's fine. I had an honorable mention, so go ahead.
Faith in me. 2 minutes or less. Clock timing.
Okay.
Ander and Santi were here by Johnny Garzavilla. This was published in 2023, I'm pretty sure. I'm not going to check because I only have 2 minutes. And I added this mostly because, like I said, I just want to talk about it. It is a really, really sweet book. And both, I feel like Ander and Santi, in my opinion, are both kind of iconic. Like, they're in a situation that's like really fraught with like both hidden and overt dangers, because Santi is an undocumented immigrant in the US, and Ander is a non-binary queer Mexican American living in Texas. So again, like there's just a lot that is kind of perilous because of the state of our politics and things. And this is a YA novel, so they are older teenagers. While it's a YA novel, like for me, I felt like it really dealt with very, very well adult issues. And because honestly, that's just how life is. Just because you're a teenager doesn't mean you're not dealing with like really heavy shit. And honestly, one of my favorite quotes is, life is a hell of a thing to happen to somebody. And it does not matter how old you are.
Literally.
And
I hate it.
and you feel it in this book. But I find them to be like very iconic because through all of it, they still choose to live every day in love and gratitude and with like a strength of spirit that I personally hope to emulate and model for like others in the world. And it's honestly just a fantastic romance with a lot of heart, and there's a lot at stake in it. And it ends, it has a happy ending depending on how you look at it. But I found it to be so amazing and deeply satisfying when I finished this book, and so I just want to talk about it because it's so good and it's amazing. Like it's a, I think a really important one to read because it also, we were talking about very quickly like Lido and queerness in the Mexican community, and this covers some of that as well. And so it's just a really, really, really fantastic book. It's so good. I loved it so much. And it just has like a very warm place in my heart. How'd I do?
1 minute over. But not bad.
Awesome. Okay. All right. But for real though, category 2, queerness in the global majority. Do you want to go first or you want me to?
You've got, looks like 3 with an honorable mention. I think I only have 1.
Okay, so why don't I start? Okay. All right. So the first one I have in this category is Chain Gang All Stars by Nana Kwame Adjei Brenya, and it's probably Adjei Brenya. And this book is. Honestly, I still feel bruised and traumatized by this book, to be honest.
Why do you read books like this? This is what I'm talking about.
It's not.
Like, I just don't want to be brutalized by whatever book I'm reading. Oh my God.
But it's not.
I don't want to be sad. I don't want to be depressed.
But it's not in the way that you think, because it's not a sad or depressing book, in my opinion. So this book is a dystopian novel that's set in like kind of the near future of America. So I don't know, let's just say like 2123. And it's basically about American prisoners who can volunteer for a televised, so reality TV, gladiator style deathmatch program called CAPE, Criminal Action Penal Entertainment, to fight for their freedom. So basically, it's kind of tournament style, like martial arts, kind of like in Yu Yu Hakusho or Dragon Ball Z or whatever. And you kind of start out as a team, and like so your team, they don't really fight together, but they're like teams from the same prison or whatever, and they go and fight other teams from other prisons. But it's still, in general, it could be like a 1-on-1 match, or it could be a 3-on-3 match or whatever within the teams. And then ultimately you're going to like the season's end or climax where it's 1-on-1 of whoever's left, even if it's from your same prison. So you and your teammates could be fighting at the end, and whoever wins gets released from prison. So this is typically for lifers or someone with a really long sentence or whatever, who obviously has no chance of parole in general. And so you fight for your freedom, and it explores like themes, of course, obviously, of systemic racism, capitalism, mass incarceration, everything that's wrong with reality TV shows and how exploitative they are. And then just like the general commodification of violence, which America in particular, and I'm sure other countries too, but definitely America has like a really horrible history with, when you think about like slavery and, quote unquote masters forcing slaves to fight each other for entertainment and things like that. And then other things that we've done in our history of kind of just like turning violence into entertainment. Like, I mean, we don't even want to talk about the history of picnics. We'll save that for another video. So
picnics, like eating outside?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyways, so it grapples with all of that history
in outside anymore.
Jesus. No, you can. We're reclaiming picnics right now in this moment. But anyways, the story follows 2 fighters that are fan favorites of this season, whatever. So we've got Loretta Thurwar and Hamara Hurricane Stacks. And as they basically navigate this system, they're on the same team, they're from the same prison, and they're also lovers, these 2 women. And it's was really, really good. And I don't know, it's just really nice to talk about this book again. I read it when it was published in 2023, and I mean, it roared onto the scene because it doesn't pull any punches, pun unintended. And so it's almost like you just get a shot of adrenaline every page because there's just so much going on. The fight scenes are very well choreographed and depicted in very kind of gory and clear in a very clear way. And part of that is because they want to really highlight the violence of the American prison system. So they're not going to fade to dark or fade to black the fight scenes because that would be defeating the purpose, right? Like you need to look these things in the eye, and that's what the book is really talking about. But it does it in such a way that you can't look away because I mean it's almost like as far as like the level of action and the way it grips you is like very similar to kind of like Rage of Dragons in that sense because it's just on page you're just like, oh my god, what's gonna happen next, what's gonna happen next. It's like literally a page turner. And I will say that like this book isn't for everyone. There are some people who felt like it was a little over the top in kind of like the trauma and a lot of the goriness and just like the sheer like extreme violence and just so some people thought that was a little bit over the top. But if you kind of understand that that's a little bit of the point, then I think you'll enjoy it a little bit more. And then also like I actually like books that do a lot of critiquing work. So for me, I actually really liked that aspect of it too. I thought this book had a whole lot to say. And so I really enjoyed that. That's honestly kind of my type of book. And then it's just couched in this basically like action movie format, which was really good. And it's basically everything that I like about speculative fiction and just fiction in general, and especially in satire. That's one of like my favorite genres because you can take something and critique it and make it like funny or interesting or whatever, and you can look at it with a little bit of separation because it is fiction. So like it doesn't bruise you as hard because it's not like an actual depiction of like what's really going on. It's a representation that forces you to think about the issue. And so I really love that. And I thought this was a fantastic book, and I actually really, really enjoyed it and would not be opposed to like rereading it again, which is why I still have it. But I mean, yeah, if you haven't heard of this, I would highly recommend it. Just check it out. See if you can get through the first couple chapters. And if you can, I think you'll love this book at the end because that final scene, that final chapter, I was like, bruh. Like, it was something else. It was really good, though. And I really loved it.
So, this was my throwback. But, I picked Moonlight. I watched it for the first time in like I said, I think it was my first year of undergrad, so like 10 years ago, and
I've never seen this one.
It was a good movie.
I was afraid it was going to be too sad, so I was like afraid to watch it.
It wasn't really all that sad.
That's good to know.
I mean, there were like sad moments, but it's one of those movies where it's kind of like just slice of life. So like it starts with this boy. I don't know his name. I didn't do my research for this. But I don't know his name.
Oh no.
So, but it starts with this boy. He's like young. I think his mom is like has substance abuse disorder. Like I think she's addicted to cocaine or whatever, and so he doesn't really have the best life. He ends up being
St. Juan or Black or Chiron.
Well, it's not Juan. Juan is the dude that ends up becoming his mentor. It's
probably Black.
I don't think it's Black. It might be Chiron or whatever his name is.
Actually, let me stop. I didn't watch this. I don't know why I'm actually having an opinion about who I think who is.
Because we've got Kevin at different ages, and we have him at different ages. I think it's his name. But I think, he might go by Black once he gets older. And so that's him as a kid, and then he goes by Black.
Cool.
I haven't seen this movie in so long. But I remember because when I watched it, it was like a kind of like a panel type thing where a bunch of us were sitting down, and then there was like a faculty professor who had us watch it, and then he led a discussion afterwards, and so that's kind of why it stuck in my mind.
I always loved that. That was like one of the things that I love the most about like my English classes or just like anything. It's like, cause look, I'm not about to sit here and act like I'm like extra extra smart. Like I think I'm above average, but like I'm not genius level or nothing. And sometimes it is really nice to have like a guided discussion by someone who kind of knows a little bit of what they're talking about, can help you come to certain realizations or whatever, get you to think about something different. I always loved that.
I will say I hate discussions. I am intelligent for sure. I'll just go ahead and own that.
Oh my god!
But my strengths lie in test taking.
Fine, me too.
I'm really good at a multiple choice test. If I do say so myself, I actually don't like discussions because it puts a lot of pressure or whatever. And this was I think my first kind of discussion.
We're so alike and so
thing.
different.
Yeah, I know. And the faculty, he actively called on me. I didn't raise my hand. He asked a question. People raised their hand. I didn't raise my hand. Why are you calling on me?
Because you never raised your hand. And you sat in the back.
So many people. I had two folks next to me that he could have called on. Man's looked at me.
Yep, you should have saw it coming.
You're the one. And I was like, I wasn't even listening to the question.
Wow. See, and that's why he called on you. That's why he called on you.
So basically, he called on me to embarrass me, disrespectful. I don't like discussions.
Aww.
Then went to grad school, and it was all discussion based. And now I'm in a doctoral program, and it's also all discussion based. And so,
oh my god, are you trying to flex right here just because I said I was only slightly above average? Let's just make it clear. I'm also double degreed. Okay, I'm not out here getting my PhD. Okay, but I am doing well. Okay. And I like I just feel like you're trying to flex on me right now.
Not a flex. I'm actually saying how deeply I'm struggling. It's fine.
Let's just I don't know. Please continue.
You're the one who tried to diminish your own greatness. I didn't tell you to do that.
Fine.
You gotta own it.
It's okay to be self-deprecating sometimes.
No, not about that. not about that. There's too many studies about diminishing the educational value of black folks, so we won't do that.
Oh, damn.
Anyway.
No, wait, what's the new thing? See, I'm so old. I'm like, wait, that's out now. I'm pretty sure
this is probably outdated now.
No, I just caught up.
It doesn't matter. I'm doing it now. But anyways, and so what was I saying? Right. So he's a boy. He doesn't really have the best life. They're in the hood or whatever. So there's gangbangers and drug dealers everywhere. He finds this dude named Quan, who is basically like the local drug dealer. But he's this black man who's very strong, very powerful. He's principled. He's basically everything when you think of black masculinity. And then in the hood, so he's got money because he's a drug dealer, and so he's like large and in charge. But he's also very like. He's probably intelligent book-wise, but because of, just the nature of their environment, his intelligence really just shines through in his, like, business acumen and, like, his street smarts and all that stuff. And so when you think of black masculinity, he's, like, that real. And so the kid, he really kind of, like, looks up to him and, like, idolizes him and really grows up to be that guy. So as he's growing up, he's trying to emulate him. He, like, adopts Juan's principles and values. Because Juan deep down is, well, not deep down, like on the surface level, he's a good guy. He's just dealing drugs. And so, but the kid, he grows up, he changes his name to Black. That's what everybody calls him. And he becomes basically the next one, because I think Juan dies. So he becomes the next one. And the thing about Black that's, that he kind of feels shame and has to hide is the fact that he's gay. Because in, Black communities, we are very... Not we, but like the black community
can be very
homophobic.
Yes.
And so him being, this poor black kid in the South, like I think it takes place in Florida, being gay is not something, especially as a black man, is not something that you would be open about. Mm-hmm. And he's trying to definitely embody and project this black masculine dude. And black masculinity and queerness, for whatever reason, don't go together in the black community. It's not accepted. And so that's a part of himself that he has to hide. He really doesn't date. There's one dude, his best friend, I think his name is Kevin. They have like one sexual experience as teenagers, and that basically is Black's like sexual awakening. And then after that, he don't really engage in it because it's, taboo. Right. And so we have to...
Well, it's taboo and it's dangerous. That's the other thing too, is that like it's, it goes beyond just being like outcast or shunned or whatever. In this situation, I imagine somebody would probably do him physical harm.
Mm-hmm. And so the movie just kind of explores that dichotomy of being black and queer, and being a black man, and what does it mean, what does it look like, and so on and so forth. So,
did you like it?
I don't think I was ready for it at the time because I was 18 and bless you. My favorite genre is action movies, and so there was like almost none of that. So
that's why you needed the discussion to help bring you out, to help you understand the different layers.
Say, the discussion was good because everything that I basically just said now, ripping off the dome, came from that discussion. I still remember it 10 years later. So it was a good discussion.
Love it. That's why I like Blue Aside, because when I first read that, I was like, what? But
Moonlight is a good movie. I think it won a bunch of awards. So if you haven't watched it now, it's been 10 years. Catch up.
God, okay. At me next time. Jesus.
Yeah, it came out 2016.
Like, my next one is really short. It's really short because I read this so long ago and I can't remember a whole lot about it, but I wanted to talk about it because it's one of the few books that I really, really liked in 2023 that's not a fiction novel. This is actually a memoir, and it's called Hijab Butch Blues by Lamia H. And it's about a queer hijabi Muslim immigrant, and it's a kind of coming of age story. So it starts when she's like a young teen. I don't know exactly how old she is, but she realizes that she's gay and likes women when she has like a very overwhelmingly crush on her female school teacher. And so then
it's always the teacher.
So then, her life then takes shape and form around, around this new identity that she's now grappling with as a teenager and then a young woman. And it's just really, really interesting. She uses stories from the Quran to give her like hope and find moments of like strength, and just anecdotes and allegories and things to help her come to terms with her reality, and kind of marrying that up or figuring out how her religion and her relationship to religion fits with like her queer identity and how she fits in. And it was just a really, really good memoir. I try really hard not to like knock or overly critique anyone's memoir because it's their story, it's their lived experience. And while it might not have been a good book for me, that doesn't mean that like that doesn't invalidate their experience or their story. But this was actually a really, really good memoir. It's extremely well written. It's really kind of like succinct, and it doesn't kind of drone on, and it's not very repetitive. Like, she got the form and the structure right. And so it was just impossible for me not to get like wrapped up in her story and in her life, and to be rooting for her as she moved from each point in time. And I really enjoyed it, and I highly recommend it for June, for Pride Month, but also for any point in time, because it's just really good. And I don't read a lot of memoirs, but I have a collection of like 5 to 10 that I would recommend at any time, and this is one of them. So
nice.
Awesome. And then my honorable mentions, which will really be honorable mentions, is one is The Prophets. I've talked about that on another video, so please go check that out. And then On Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous by Ocean Vuong. I thought that book was really, really good. And it's also, Wong is a poet as well. So it's a novel written by a poet. So it's also extremely lyrical and beautifully written, and highly recommend those as well. So nice. See. Awesome. Okay. Category 3. Yeah. Which is our animated manga, manhwa section.
It's our cartoon section.
Yeah. There we go. That's so much better. Yeah. It's our cartoon section. All right, Styles, you go first.
Okay. I only have one again. However, I did think of another one while you were talking, so I kind of have 1.5.
Oh, good.
one that I picked, and I really only picked it not because like I truly loved it, but more so because I just watched it last week. So, if any of you have seen Arcane, I just watched season 2 of Arcane, and in there, I think really the only queer characters that they show is Vi, who's one of the main characters. Arcane is essentially you've got this basically this utopia, right? And they are
Utopia?
it's like a decent society. Streets are clean. We've come a long way with like mechanics, but then there's also magic. And so the premise of the show is that these two scientists, one is, he's really like an engineer, the other one's like the brains. They basically find this arcane, which is magic, this arcane, these runes and like these elements. It's like a blue ball or whatever. And they're trying to integrate.
A blue ball? Is that what you said?
Yeah, it's like a marble. It's like a marble. And they're trying to integrate magic and science. So that they can then control magic through science and be able to do a bunch of stuff, and they end up creating hex tech. So this right here is in, I don't know the name of the city, but it's the Utopia type city. Underneath that, you have the Undercity, which I think is called Zon, and then that's basically where they sent all the scrubs. All the scrubs live there.
So again, yes, I was right with my bunny ears.
Yeah, Utopia. And based on what my brother told me, because Arcane is based off of the video game League of Legends, and so it's got its own lore. I've never played the video game. But anyways, based on what he told me is that Zon was independent from the other city. I really need to remember what it was called.
Okay. Yeah, let me help you out.
But from the upper city, it was independent. And then for whatever reason, the upper city went down to Zon, and then like, what is it called when you like invade and conquer? Conquered them, essentially.
Colonize?
Yeah, sure. And for what reason, I have no idea why, because the Undercity is gross, and so I don't know why anyone would want to be down there. But then the folks of Zon wanted to...
Is it Piltover?
Yeah, Piltover. There we go.
The
so
City
Piltover,
of Progress.
Zon. And then there were some folks in Zon that basically led a rebellion for their freedom, and it was squashed, and people died. And then there was 3 leaders. This lady and her 2 besties, these 2 dudes. She dies, leaves behind like her 2 daughters, and so one of the besties, he then raises the 2 daughters named Vi and Powder. Violet and Powder, but they go by Vi. And then eventually Powder loses her mind and becomes Jinx. And Jinx is literally my favorite character, like one of the entire shows. Her and Echo, because Echo's this black dude and he's got like white locks, but neither of them are queer, so I'm not talking about them in the video. Those are my favorite characters. The queer character is actually Vi, and I don't really care about Vi.
Isn't she the main character though?
She's one of them.
Okay.
But I don't really care about it because Vi's low-key a
Isn't
hot
she
mess.
looking for her sister? Like she's trying to save the little sister, Jinx?
Yes, she's trying to save her sister.
I've also never seen this, but I have watched the trailer a couple times, and it looked like it was going to wreck me emotionally, so then I was like, I'll wait.
It's really good. Emotionally, it's really good. It's very cathartic. But Vi is basically an emotionally hot mess. They all are. But the way that Vi handles her emotions is through violence, because she was raised, like she was taught boxing, and she's like a fierce brawler. Her like strength stats are like through the roof, and then also her constitution is like through the roof. Like she's just very solid as a character and as a fighter, and she's really, really good. But emotionally, she's like kind of all over the place. She then ends up meeting this girl from Piltover named Kate, who is voiced by Cho from Harry Potter. Who was also just recently in the season, I think it's season 4 of Bridgerton. She's a great actor. I think her name is like Katie or something.
Are you talking about the main character in season 4 of Bridgerton? Because that did not look like her.
No.
Okay. I was
Her
like,
stepmom.
I was like, she should be older, right?
Yeah, she's playing a stepmom. But as a voice actor, she can play someone who's like in her
Of
early
course.
20s.
Yes, I got it.
Anyway, so she plays
tracking.
Caitlin. Caitlin is the daughter of like this influential, wealthy councilwoman family, but they also run like the police force. And so Caitlin is also a fighter, but she's obviously more like institutionally trained. She's not like, a boxer or anything like that, but she's also a sniper. Like she's great. Kate's actually pretty awesome.
Aren't we talking about Vi?
Well, it's the 2 of them because they get in a relationship.
Correct.
So over the course of season 1, as Jinx is off causing chaos, she's basically kind of like the Joker. She's kind of like that type of character causing chaos. And Vi is trying to, 1, stop her, but 2, be like, hey, you're my sister. I abandoned you once. I'm not going to abandon you again. Like, and is trying to like heal her and really kind of heal themselves, because the reason they like split up was like their adoptive dad died and was murdered low key by Jinx, but like
Dang.
it was an accident. She was like 7.
And yet
He did die. Yeah. But there's like more to that context. I'm not going into the entire show. But anyways, so Vi is after Jinx because that's her sister and she loves her. But Caitlyn is also after Jinx because Jinx is like doing shenanigans in the Undercity and in the Upper City because she's working with this dude. I can't remember what his name is. But he was part of the original 3 that rebelled. He went more evil, whereas like their adoptive father, Xander, he was like, we lost, so let me just go back to bartending in the Undercity. Whereas the other dude was like, no, we have to keep fighting for the cause. But he was more like the means, like, was it the end justify the means? So he was doing some things he shouldn't have been doing, and Jinx got wrapped up into that after Xander died because that man, he then adopted Jinx. That's the context that I didn't want to go into, but I just so Jinx. And
meanwhile, I'm in a rabbit hole figuring out who Judge Hank's real actress name is.
Katie. I told you it was Katie.
I found it.
But yeah, so Jinx is messing up things in Piltover, and so that's how Caitlyn, or they call her Kate, that's how she kind of gets on Jinx's radar. And so Kate and then Vi, they link up in order to solve this problem. And along the way, they fall in love. And because Vi is an emotional train wreck, the relationship isn't like the greatest, but it is pretty much the only positive thing in Vi's life. So she's really doing her best to kind of hold on to that. By the time we get to season 2, Katie's mom has died because Jinx murdered her. And so, yeah, it's a lot. But Jinx was an emotional train wreck because her second adoptive father just died. She had to, it was a lot.
Oh boy.
It was a lot. But anyway, so now Kate is an emotional train wreck throughout that one, and there's like a fissure in their relationship. But what I like the most is that when they do come together, because they're very actually supportive of one another. Mm-hmm. That's pretty much where I'm going to end it there. I kind of rambled. But that is the queer story that I most recently watched. At the end of season 2, the two of them do get their happy ending together. It's a bittersweet happy ending.
Literally, spoiler alert for anybody who wants to watch it, because season 2 is not 10 years old.
I'm not saying how or why. I'm not.
Yeah, but it's still a spoiler. You know it is.
But I'm saying that to lead up to the fact that the two of them get a bittersweet, somewhat happy ending together. And everybody else that I'm rooting for, because I'm never really rooting for them. I'm not rooting against them, but I'm never really rooting for them because I just absolutely don't care. But Jinx and Echo and like everybody else, they're all kind of screwed. So everyone else is, by the end of season 2, they're struggling. And then these two, through the power of their love, have a somewhat happy ending.
Not the power of their love. I will say you do have like a through line for your relationships around like support and like care and things.
Support, care, and loyalty.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm a Scorpio. Those things are important.
I don't know anything about that, but I believe you when you say it.
Scorpios are loyal. We're loyal to the grave. So I like it when loyalty shows up.
Yeah, I also have a loyalty
as long as it's
kink,
not,
but I guess maybe it shows up differently because I'm a Pisces. I don't know. You'll have to tell me one day. So I mostly have a bunch of manga. I have a couple anime to talk about as well, but mostly I have a bunch of manga, and I'm super excited about them because I hardly ever talk about like my BL collection. Mostly I just like see something, hear about something good on Instagram, Bookstagram, whatever, and then I'll just go grab volume 1 to see what it's about, because I actually am patently very stringently against manga. Not because I don't like them or anything like that, but because you want to go bankrupt? Like, get into like a 3,000 freaking volume series, like manga series. Like, you're gonna lose all your money. You're gonna be very poor, and the only thing you're gonna have to show for it is some non-resellable, like, not gonna get any money for them, like, volumes of manga on your shelves. Like, I just can't support it. I can't support it. Okay? Like, I just can't. However, I don't mind buying the BL mangas because, in general, I haven't met one that has really gone beyond like 8 or 9 volumes. Like, they
that's
just,
good.
Yeah, they know how to like end a freaking series. All right. And So I will break my rule for that, and I have a few that I want to talk about. So the first one is Comic Party Wonder Love, and so far this one is 3 volumes. I don't know if a fourth one is coming, but this I loved this one so much, and it's literally the only series that I've given 4 stars. So most of the time, I rank all of my books on like a 5-star rating system, and most of the BL novels I give them 3 stars, which is average. It was good. Didn't feel like I wasted my time, and it was a nice palate cleanser in between some of the heavier novels like Martyr, for example. um, but this one, I actually gave it 4 stars. And I feel like one of the reasons that I typically only give them 3 stars is that sometimes I find that like the storytelling isn't as rich or have the depth that I'm used to with like regular novels. So everything sometimes just kind of feels like very surface level or whatever. But this one actually did feel like they took it a step further and made a really strong attempt at world building and characterization and making you understand the decisions that the characters are making and making those decisions make sense. Because some of the books, like there's some that I'm not going to talk about, but there's one that was like terrible, 1 star. And again, I'm like very generous with these because I really just want to just like have a good time and like have something nice and just fluffy to read. And so for me to give it 1 star, it had to be really bad. And usually what happens is they will just make a decision that doesn't make any sense for narrative purposes or even for the characters characterization at that point, but it was because the author was like, ugh, I need this other thing to happen. I have no idea how to make this happen. So I'm just going to make you make a stupid decision. Like, I can't tolerate it. It's just too much. And it bothers me. And this book did not do that. Like, everything made sense. And it felt like, in that way, very adult. And these are adult characters. It's not like a YA, like a lot of like manga and stuff. Like, they're almost always in high school. I don't know why. These are adults, which is great. And um, basically just the general overlying the underlying plot is that these two are mangakas and I can't remember what type of manga they write or they produce or whatever, but this one the kind of grumpy one is he loves this guy's manga and he thinks that his own manga is like trash. He's like
Fair.
basically Forky, right? He's like, I am trash. Like, and so he kind of just thinks that he's like a trash human, and basically they meet and they kind of just like crash into each other, not literally, but they just like their lives just kind of somehow come together, whatever, kismet, and then they start a relationship together, and he's kind of like being like, hey, you don't suck, like building him up a little bit, but also he's a little bit of a sadist, this guy, so he's also like kind of picking on and bullying him in a very lovable way. So their like relationship dynamic is just really, really cute. So it's a little bit of grumpy sunshine, but also a little bit of like, I don't know. There's just a lot of he's trolling him all the time, and it's just funny, and it's just really, I don't know. It feels really good, and I love this manga series so much. I hope there's gonna be a fourth one, but right now there are only 3 volumes out, and they all of them are really good. I enjoyed them. Okay, so the next one that I have is Given, and I did do all of the manga of this one because I wanted to know how the story ended because I actually came across this as an anime originally. And so, if you read BL or watch any BL anime, you've probably heard of Given or watched it. And so, I mostly put it on here because I want to talk about the anime because I ended up, I loved it so much because it had so much emotional richness and depth in for a romance anime that I think about it all the time, and it's all about music. So I would honestly recommend the anime over the manga any day because obviously you need the soundtrack to go with it to really give it that impact that it had, and it had a huge impact on me. It's a much more serious anime than Comic Party Wonder Love. And two of the main characters are seniors in high school. The other two main characters are adults. One of them is in college, and the other one is like a barista. And basically, they come together to make a band. And one of the main characters, I cannot remember dude's name right now. Anyways, he basically was in a relationship with someone else, his childhood friend, and he died for reasons that we're not going to get into. And that person's mom gave our main character his like broken guitar because he was trying to be a guitarist at the time. And the other main character, he's like a lead guitarist and he's been playing guitar since he was like itty bitty. So he's like really good. And he comes across him with his broken guitar, and then like they become friends. And
Broken guitar sounds like a sad country love song.
yeah, and it's not really broken. One of the strings is broken, but to him, it's broken because he doesn't know anything about guitars or anything like that. And so when he fixes it, then he kind of like has this moment of wonder because him fixing that guitar is like fixing a connection with his deceased boyfriend. He obviously doesn't know that, but that's part of it. And then we've learned that these three right here are in a band together before this character comes in with his broken guitar. But they don't have a lead singer. None of them can sing. He sucks at guitar, but he wants to learn how to play the guitar. Again, trying to like make this connection with his dead boyfriend. And they're like, okay, we'll teach you, but you can't be in our band because you suck. But then he starts like humming or whatever, and then they realize that he has like perfect pitch and a perfect ear for notes and things, and basically he can sing. And he's a phenomenal singer. So they're like, oh, okay, never mind. Now you can be in the band.
Of course, he could just casually sing.
Right? Yeah. So now you can be in the band.
Good thing I have the one thing you needed in order to make this plot work. Yes.
Stop it. It's so good. Please, stop it.
Not even just casually. Maybe need to take a couple singing lessons here or there, but just has perfect pitch and a perfect ear, just naturally.
Yeah. No. He's like a once in a lifetime
prodigy.
He's a once in a lifetime prodigy when it comes to like singing, and that's like comes through and is like very clearly depicted well in the anime and in the manga. And oh yeah, his name is Mafuyu. Oh Lord, I really needed to get that out. That's the guy the singer. And Ritsuka, that's his last name, I'm pretty sure. No, that's his first name. Is the main guitarist. And they end up actually being like the main love story as well. So it's a little bit of the guitarist kind of realizing like, hey, wait a minute, I think I might have a crush on this guy. And then also like trying to understand, is he emotionally available because of the death of his last boyfriend? And like, can they make this relationship work and things like that? And then the other two in the background, there's also like a small romance plot line with them, like side story. And
so wait, everyone in the band is paired up. These two are dating, and then these two are dating.
Yeah, but they kind of have more of a situationship for a while, so it's a little bit different. And they're dating, but it's like super wholesome and cute. They like hold hands. That's
the criteria for wholesome and cute. Did you hold hands?
I mean, I think they kissed once or twice. But like, so in that place, that I like that too because it's also like age appropriate for the age of the characters, which I really like. But it deals with much heavier themes of grief and acceptance and moving on, first love, and he doesn't really have like a homophobic moment when he realizes he has a crush on him, but also just dealing with like, oh my god, I have a crush, like having a crush for the first time, you know? And so it's just really cute. It's really good. The anime is really amazing as far as like the music goes. And there's like a point in season one finale that like I literally get goosebumps every time I watch it because it's just so powerful musically. And it's fantastic. They did finish the story with like a movie, 1 or 2 movies or something. It was kind of annoying that they didn't just like animate it out regularly. But if you want to watch it and get to like the end of the story, it does exist, which is nice because sometimes anime also will just like drop off the world like Sensei, and you're just like, what happened? Not Sensei, Sensate. But yeah, so that's my next one. Do you want to do your half?
I can do my half.
Do your half.
Okay. So this one, it low-key falls kind of more under the queer icon, but since it's animated, I put it here. When I thought about it, we had already moved on past the queer icon anyway, so it had to go in this section. But I read this book, so it's actually a book. But it's based off of a TV show that's animated. So loophole.
Okay.
My person is Avatar Kiyoshi because she is baller. She is literally the GOAT. Okay. Now, in the show, we don't realize that she's gay or whatever because they don't talk about that. It's not important. They just talk about how like she creates islands because she's that powerful. She just created a whole island, named it after herself because why not? If I create an island, of course I'm gonna name it after myself. And she was very much a no nonsense kind of person based on how she grew up. So she grew up kind of like not really on the streets. Like I think she was on the streets at like the age of 5, but then eventually was like brought into this family as like a servant. And she's an earthbender. Obviously, she has to be a bender. She's the Avatar, but she's an earthbender, and her earthbending is very like big and clumsy. Because she's just that powerful in controlling the earth, but like her
No finesse.
She has no finesse because like she's not really like no one's really teaching her. She can't afford teachers. Obviously, she's a servant, so she kind of just picks up from like her best friend is this dude. I don't know his name. He's irrelevant. Well, I guess not. I think he becomes the main villain. I don't know. I didn't read part 2. It's on my shelf. I need to get to it. Anyways, not the point. But they think that he's going to be the next Avatar because they know that the next Avatar is going to be an earthbender. And his earthbending skill is like off the charts because he's also very strong, but he's got a lot of, what'd you say, finesse? Mm-hmm. He's got a lot of finesse. He's got a lot of control. He's got a lot of dexterity. What other words what are the synonyms we got?
Fine motor control.
He's got great fine motor control. You're the English major, so you're like my own person with thesaurus.
I do my best.
Anyway,
just a girl with a laptop.
So they have. You gotta get that on a t-shirt now. So he has been training his entire life to be the Avatar.
Agility, adroitness, coordination,
adroitness
deftness.
is crazy. But yeah, I've never even heard of adroitness.
I have.
English major. Good job. See, I told you were intelligent. Don't ever diminish yourself, okay? And so she is like a servant in like the facility or wherever that he's been training, and so she like learns a little bit about earthbending just by observing his lessons, but she can't do anything because her earthbending is earth-shattering because she's just that powerful, which I feel like should have been a sign.
Right?
But when she does earthbend, it just comes off as clumsy, especially in comparison to him, so nobody's looking at her. Then they do all like the test and whatever, and then turns out, oh, he's not the earthbending. He has a psychological crisis. He has an identity crisis, and I think that probably what carries him through the first and second book. I mean,
that's why you gotta stop putting all these like expectations on kids. Like I swear to God, every Criminal Minds episode, like it's either one of two things: you are a psychopath, and you were born a psychopath, and we can't really figure out why. Maybe you got some frontal lobe issues we don't know, or your parents effed you up. Like, it's always one of two
Generally,
things.
it's both.
Yes.
But yeah, and so he's dealing with that of like, I am not the Avatar, so I'm not the most important person in the world. And
now what do I do?
My best friend, who is very clumsy and just is a joke of an earthbender.
Yeah, who I also probably looked down on a little bit as well and condescended to. Is now the Avatar. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right. But then in the book, she's like going on the run. I don't know if it's like an Aang situation where she's running away from the responsibility of being the Avatar, or if
people want to kill her so someone else can be the Avatar. That happens sometimes.
I don't know about that. I can't remember. I read the book once. Anyways, so she runs away. She ends up with this troop, and she also has another friend who is a firebender, and she kind of like Kate. Is the daughter of like this firebending master, sage or whatever, general, whatever the hell. Kate. And so from Arcane. And so this firebender girl, I don't remember her name. Like I said, I just thought about this. But we're gonna call her Sue. So Sue, firebender. I think she was better than Sue. I think she and Kiyoshi were also friends, and I believe was friends with Kiyoshi and Yoon. And this is where the queerness comes in, because then Avatar, as they're traveling along on this journey, this hero's journey, Sue is basically backing up Kiyoshi, and then along the way, the two of them realize that they have feelings for each other and fall in love. Most prominent childhood friends from the Avatar Mansion are you and Rangi. It might be Rangi.
Yeah. Rangi becomes Kiyoshi's closest companion in her
Yeah,
eventual
so
romantic
it was
party.
Rangi. Okay, cool. We were just seeing her
Partner.
description when she becomes an adult.
Yeah.
Okay,
Cool,
her name's not Shu. It's Rangi. Now we know.
Cool.
But yeah, and so she might even teach Kiyoshi firebending if I'm remembering correctly. But through the journey, Kiyoshi, she basically becomes one of the most powerful earthbenders to have ever existed for her time. So like I said, she could create, islands. She learned through like traveling with this troupe how to adapt her earth-shattering earthbender where she could literally pull up columns from underneath the earth. It was crazy. But to adapt it in a way that works for her and then to actually make her power useful. And then she's like very no nonsense. Like she will out here like, if you're a problem, I'm going to eliminate the threat. That was something that Aang struggled with because he was an airbender and they're pacifists, so he like did not want to kill anybody. Kiyoshi was like, no.
Yeah.
If you are a problem, then you must be taken out. And I said, respect, mad respect. She also was one of the best avatars because she lived for 230 years. Fun fact. Wow. She learned how to bend the minerals in her body to essentially reverse the aging process.
That's crazy.
So
that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's like some blood bending on steroids situation. Like something that's going on here. What is with these benders taking over your body? I mean, Aang is over here spirit bending. We've got blood bending. We've got minerals in your body blending. Like so some of these overpowered benders need to sit down.
She's essentially
like, stay
immortal.
out of my body.
I don't even know how she dies. I have to assume.
I think she was killed.
She was killed?
Yeah, I remember that was like discussed.
In the show?
Yeah, I think that was discussed in like Aang's
Which
original.
is crazy because she's also a phenomenal healer and she can heal near mortal wounds. So she's literally the GOAT. I think she's probably my favorite avatar to date. Aang is definitely a close second because we just get a lot of time with him.
Nope, she did that. She passed away naturally and deliberately.
That's what I thought. And deliberately because she was immortal by the end of it. She had to choose to die. Wow. She eventually chose to let go and cease using this technique, allowing her body to age and pass. By that point, the love of her life is dead, and everybody that
Why wouldn't she just bend her minerals?
I don't know. It might be.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, maybe you can only do it yourself, and you can't do it to others. Yeah, the death of the strongest avatar in history. She's literally an icon.
Well, but that's not the character. That's not the category we're on. Sorry.
We were already past the category, so. but I thought about her. I was like, she's really cool, and she also happens to be queer.
Nice.
And that's really the takeaway that I've gotten from this. That like for some people, queerness is basically, it's obviously a part of their personality, especially if you're, it has to be. But I liked the stories where. We don't have to fight the good fight against homophobia, that like queerness is just normalized and so it's just a thing, and so I like the stories when the characters are great people and then they just have to be queer as well. My
last one is Semantic Error, and it is it's originally written by my stupid computer Sorry, it like freaking auto-corrected their name. So that messed me up. But it's okay because I forget the book is right here in my hand.
Awkward.
Yes.
It's just not a turtle.
It is awkward turtle.
It's just not a turtle. It's like, I mean, maybe it's a sea turtle. I can give you that.
Yeah, it's awkward turtle. What is your awkward turtle?
I don't do awkward turtle, but I'm pretty sure this is a turtle.
Just get out. That's not it.
I feel abused. I'm going through things emotionally, and I really just need you to let me have my turtle. It also looks kind of vulgar, so maybe not.
Oh my god! All right. The last one that I have for this video is Semantic Error. And this was originally written by Jay Suri. And it is a manhwa. So I actually originally read this on Manta, because that's where I read most of my manhwa. And then I happened to be, I don't know, book shopping randomly on the internet at bookshop.org. I was looking for something else, and for whatever reason, this popped up, and I was like, get the fuck I was like, GTFO. They actually printed it. It's a bait. Like, I just lost all my shit. My whole shit. I lost it. It was gone. And never to be found again. And I bought all the
shit lost.
I bought all the volumes.
At once?
Yes, because I had to.
Jeez.
Because this is one of my...
This is the behavior of a book dragon, okay? This is it. But I understand, because I'm the type of person where I'll go into a store and I like a shirt and I'll buy that same shirt in like every color. So I get it.
I like my shelf trophies. And I really loved this story. I thought it was really honestly sweet. So we talked about this in other videos, but I love it when
trophies.
Yeah, shelf trophies. Well, I call the ones, so anything that I've like read digitally or listened to on audiobook that I like so much that I then had to go purchase the physical book, that's a shelf trophy. The more you know.
Lingo here happening.
Yeah.
Insert that meme.
But yeah, so anyways, I bought all of them because they're so good. They're so cool. I'm getting there. Honestly, the plot of this is like pretty straightforward. You basically have these college students, these two, so this guy and this guy.
This guy's cooler.
And they are in college, and I'm trying to see if I wrote down their names or not.
You want to know why he's cooler? Because he's low-key perpetrating as a dark ginger, and you know how I feel about gingers. I think his hair is actually brown, but this lighting makes it look red. Mm-hmm. He's also got cool piercings, and he's blowing a bubble.
Okay. He is like the cool kid on campus.
I aspired to be. Never made it.
He's a senior. He's a senior and he's a freshman. And they are in a class together. He's like a computer science major. And they're in a class together. They have to do a group project and he like never shows up and he just wanted to put his name on the paper and this guy was like,
"No,
sir, please, no."
He looks like a narc.
He's not a narc.
He looks like a narc.
Okay, but he's not a narc. But he definitely has a very strong code of conduct. And partially because I'm pretty sure it's like not said on here, but he's very autistic coded. So he's like on the spectrum and he's like, this is how I do things. This is how things work. You didn't participate, so you don't get to get credit. Like, Period. It doesn't have anything to do with you as a person. I genuinely don't care about you, but you didn't do anything. Like, so, and so obviously they start beefing because of that. And the way they start beefing is not like overly aggressive. There's no bullying or anything. Basically, this guy whose name is escaping me right now, this guy, his name is Songwoo. But this guy, Jae Young basically just trolls the hell out of him. Like they get into another either class together or they decide, I know at some point they decide to do a project together. They're making a video game and so he does all the coding, he does all the artwork and the narrative and all of that stuff for the game, and so they're partnering on this and it's going to be like cool. It's going to be like an app. And long story short, while they're working on it, he just trolls him and trolls him and trolls him. And he thinks it's freaking hysterical. And Songwoo is like, what is wrong with this man? Like, what is happening? And they fall in love. And it's just really cute. And it's just a really cute, darling book. And
it's in color.
Yeah, it's all in color, which like really surprised me. Anyways, it's all in character. I mean, it's all in color, which you hardly ever see in manga. And it's just like a really wholesome, adorable relationship. And as they're realizing that they're falling for each other, they each have like different reactions to it. Because again, Songwoo is most likely somewhere on the spectrum. So his lived experience is like very different in how he like interacts with different people and stuff. And like him trying to figure out, like he feels like a program with error codes in it because he's falling in love with him and he doesn't fully understand it, which is why semantic error, whatever. And then him on the other side is him trying to get him to realize that he is in love with him, like trying to get Songwoo to basically acknowledge their relationship once he comes to terms with the fact that once Jae Young comes to terms with the fact that he is in love with Songwoo, he's then trying to get Songwoo to realize that he is also in love with him so that he can acknowledge their relationship. And then things just like build from there. And it's super cute and wholesome. And I just really loved it. And it was so fun. And it was like super exciting when I saw that it was translated into English and bound and printed. So check this out if you are looking for a BL manga that you haven't heard of. Also, not sponsored, but check out Manta. They have a lot of really good stories on there in general, like queer or otherwise. So
Nice.
And then just a couple of honorable mentions that you've probably heard of, a few anime that I'm not going to tell you anything about. I'm just going to kind of put them on screen over here. But you might like Twilight Out of Focus, Sasaki and Miyano, and then Cherry Magic. Those were some of the BL anime that I watched last year that I really enjoyed, that were really cute. And that's all I got for this video.
Yay!
It's a wrap. So if there was anything on here that you saw that you wanted to read or check out or watch, please let us know. We'd love to hear that in the comments. And otherwise, we'll see you next time in the Hoard.
Peace.